Hi everyone, my name is Loli Jane and I'm an animal communicator and healer. So I'm here at this beautiful beach. So you will be hearing the sound of ocean waves in the background, which is very soothing and calming at this point in time. So I'm gonna have you take a look at the beautiful ocean before I start talking. That is your live panorama. Anyway, I hope that relaxed you. So today, we are going to talk about another very important subject that the animals themselves have brought up. So I usually let these subjects be guided by the animals that I speak to. And it seems like a lot of different communication sessions that I've done lately are coming up in the same subject matter. So the subject is past lives and reincarnation. So I've had quite a few communication sessions lately with people and their animals, and they've asked me if their animal that has already passed on, who I'm doing a session with, is going to come back as a new pet or an animal in their current lifetime, if they're going to come back to them. That's a big question. Are they going to come back to me? And how? Does it show up? What will they look like? What kind of animal will they be? And how will I know? So I get a lot of that. So the last two sessions I've done on people and their animals is they've asked me if their animal that passed on is coming back to them. And it just so happened that they have a current animal and they never realized that the current animal that they have is a reincarnation of a past animal, their soul animal. So let's talk about that for a while. So their soul, we incarnate in soul families, and that includes the humans and the animals. And sometimes the animals were people in our past lives. Sometimes we were animals, which is why when I speak with animals, they have a whole array of intellect and past life experiences, and they are all completely individualized and different. It's like talking to a person with all their memories and experiences. So I had one dog tell me about a whole entire past life historical thing that happened. I looked up the historical dates and facts and records, and it was factually true. So amazing. So we incarnate in soul families. So the soul families include our animals, and they come back to us many times for specific purposes. And usually it's for one specific purpose. My soul dog that has come back to me as a horse, a cat, all kinds of dogs, animals, told me that it was for protection. So my animal came back for protection for me. And I've had other animals that I've talked to that belong to other people, and they are there for other purposes. It may not be protection. I had one cat that told me that they were the glue for the family unit. So they were kind of the glue that held the family together as they incarnated over and over again. So they have many different purposes. Some of the animals' purposes are just to bring joy in your life or to remind you to laugh again. So it may be very simple. So let's talk about when the animals reincarnate into a new body. So when the animals and you are ready, you must be ready also, because you have to be in a position where you can get another animal, take care of another animal, and be ready. And your animal knows that. So your animal will then send you signals. I dreamt about my soul dog, Frosty, for 10 years before I ever got him. For 10 years, I dreamt about this white animal. And after a while, I knew exactly what kind of breed of dog it was. And by the time I rescued him from a shelter, I knew exactly what breed I wanted. And he was right there. He was brought into a shelter 5 minutes before I arrived. Amazing story. Anyway, so the animals will know when you're ready, and they'll know when it's time to incarnate. And you'll get all kinds of signals. You may get dreams. You may get be walking down the street and see the same animal over and over again, same cat, the same dog, or the same color. You may get visions, who knows? But listen to the signs, because those signs are signaling that you may be ready. You'll also get to a point where you feel ready for the animal. So a lot of times people have been living with these reincarnated animals, their soul animals, and not even known it, because they expect the animal to look and sound exactly alike. And that's not usually the case. So the animal will show you a couple of common traits from the previous animal. I'm going to use myself as an example. So I had to put my beloved dog Frosty down. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. It was horrible, horrible. And I could not get over it. And somebody asked me after that if I wanted a dog or a cat, and I said I'm never getting an animal ever again, because I was so heartbroken. And about a couple months later, actually it was about a month later, maybe 6 weeks later, I decided that I would get a cat. So I decided to go through the Humane Society and, rescue a cat. And I went through their online pages. I picked one out, and I decided that if I didn't find the right animal, I wasn't going to do it. So I went through like 60 pictures of cats, and I picked one cat, and I'm like, that's the one. And I called the Humane Society, and they said this animal was not ready for adoption yet, because it was born like 6 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. And I come to find out the animal was born the day I put Frosty down. And I still didn't get it. I still didn't think about it. So I had to wait some time till the animal was weaned and ready to be adopted. So they met me at a pet store for adoptions. And I decided when I was driving there, I would not get this cat unless I fell instantly in love with it. I walked in, I saw the cat, I'm like, he's mine, or she's mine, sorry. She's mine, I'll take her, she's mine. Well, her name was Cloud. She had a little gray cloud over her head. She was the same color as my dog, and she did look similar to my dog. But I never put two and two together. I was not an animal communicator back then. So not until I took classes in animal communication did I come to find out I don't have this cat anymore. I had to move, and I couldn't keep the cat. So I don't have the cat anymore. And I come to find out that is and was my reincarnated dog Frosty. So it's not every trait, it's some traits. So my dog Frosty had a peeing problem. He peed in the house. I had to potty train him, all that stuff. And then I had a cat. So the cat trained him how to utilize the litter box. He went through the doggy door, and then he peed around the litter box. He was a boy, so he would lift his leg and pee around the perimeter of the litter box, which irritated me because I had to clean it up. And he would never go in the litter box. I trained him to go outside, but when he went in the box, it was around the box. So guess what this cat did? I never connected the two. So this cat, as a kitten, would, as small as she was, would put her butt side out of the litter box and pee around the litter box. And that was like the telltale sign that Frosty reincarnated into Cloud was trying to show me, I'm Frosty, look at me, I'm peeing around the litter box. I never got it. I wasn't an animal communicator back then. So I never got it. So telltale sign, the other second sign that Cloud gave me as a cat, showing me it was Frosty, is Frosty used to run around in circles in the yard. I used to live in an area where it was snowing, and Frosty would love to run around in circles. So guess what Cloud did? Cloud would run out of the house and have me chase her around the yard and run in circles. And I never connected that that was my dog Frosty until years later when I don't have Cloud anymore. So lesson to everybody, it won't be every trait. There will be 2 or maybe 3 really significant things that your previous animal did also. So I had a session with a very good friend of mine, and her animal was standing up and showing her like specific traits that her reincarnated cat used to do. And she's like, I get it. I see it now. I see it now. I had another reading with, I think, a cat, and the cat would stand on its hind legs, kind of like a squirrel with its paws up in the air, because a dog used to do that all the time and beg. So the cat learned how to do this and would also stand up on its hind legs and get treats. So look for these 1 or 2 significant personality things that they both shared, and you will find that your animal may be reincarnated as your current animal. So that's it for today. I just wanted to share that with you. And you can find me at animals-speak.com, animals plural hyphen speak.com, and lots of testimonials there. And I also have a Facebook group and page called Animal Communication and Healing, and you're welcome to join that. So aloha and a hui ho from Hawaii. Okay, so it is.